This is the second time we've been together. And I love you so much. And the last time I was here, you helped me get my money straight. You validated the work that I do. And the question that I come with this time is after I was here before, and I was able to establish vibrational cause in the work with addicts that I do and had been having phenomenal success. I asked you and others to please help me find the vibrational cause of physical illness, because I am a healer and I'm a born uplifter. And I was awakened one morning at 4:44 with this knowledge of where to find these vibrational causes of all illnesses. And this information was delivered, I found it on the internet, but it came from non-physical. And it was validated by me from my son, who is also non-physical, that this was indeed truth with a capital T. So I went on a big embarkation to learn this and have been studying extensively for the last year and a half and have had phenomenal success with people. But I promised you I would not fill in my grid. So I have a little bit of vibrational adjustment that I'm asking for. How do I put this out in a larger space, utilizing the law of attraction and seeking those who are looking for what I have rather than try to put it out there where it may not be concordant?
Well, the last piece of what you just said here is the most important, because there are so many people still who believe they must find the cause of something before they can let it go. And it's contrary to what we teach, because the more you are looking for the cause, the more momentum you continue to encourage about it. And so, but what you are really looking for is the information that you feel that you need in order to let it go.
Yes.
It's like I need to justify why I am in this imperfect place before I can let it go. And it comes at a good time during this conversation here today, because you can feel how looking in the direction of the cause of something that is unwanted just encourages the momentum about something unwanted. And so it is a sort of opposite approach that we would take. But there is a reason that so many are looking for it. And it is the reason that an audience like this is small, and there are other audiences that are much larger, because people are wanting justification or validation. You used that word already. Wanting validation for where they stand. And we are, in everything that we are offering, we are wanting to soothe and blur the lines so that you're asking for less and less validation other than the validation that alignment provides. In other words, if we could just convey in a convincing way that an emotion that feels good means that you are on the path to the resolution that you are looking for, and an emotion that feels bad is an indication that you are on the path of more resistance, and that the resolution is going to be slower in coming. And so, as a teacher, and this is a room full of teachers, often you are wanting to meet your students or your clients or your patients where they are. And in reality, you cannot do otherwise, because they are where they are and you are where you are. And if we speak too much about vibration, we lose a lot of people that are not ready to talk about vibration. And there are a lot of people that are far from being able to talk about vibration and do not want to internalize and understand that their emotions are the key to what they're living, who are really wanting a more physical, practical approach, and those are the ones who are still looking for cause. But in any case, we refuse to give it.
Okay.
Because
it just keeps them going with their discord.
We want to say to all of you that if you ever find yourself in an attitude of justification, you're on a pretty strong path of resistance. If you ever find yourself in a place of defending to someone, and we know there are people who get in your face, who hold some power in some way in your experience, who are demanding of explanations from you. And so we're not saying that you're just making it up for no reason, but we are saying that every time you are defensive or defending or rationalizing or justifying or even explaining to anyone why you are choosing or doing as you are in a strong current of resistance, and it will become more until it catapults into a strong decision to finally let it go. So we think really the conversation that we're having here is, how can I inspire people I care about to let go of their seeds of resistance?
Yes.
And what we've noticed as we've been playing with you, and we've played with all of you, is that you can't get there from there. In other words, when you say, I'm not going to think about that, you're thinking about that thing you're not going to think about. And so there's no exclusion in this universe. There's no pushing something away. There's only activating it by my attention to it. And so if you're wanting to help someone let go of a seed of something, find the cause of it and root it out, the only path is by finding something else and helping them to let that be more dominant. So the path of least resistance to illness is by focusing on wellness. The path of least resistance to poverty is focusing on abundance. You cannot get sick enough to help sick people get well, and you cannot focus upon their sickness enough to help them get well. Check it out. How's it working out?
It's not.
In other words, every war on everything is getting bigger because attention to it just keeps it active in the vibration longer. So we know what you're getting at, but we would say simply to people, the cause is always the same thing. And as we were saying to our friend earlier, it's important to understand that there are lots of moving parts in all of this, with all of the people that you are interacting with. And it's not possible for anyone to spend enough time with anyone to sort out all the desires and points of resistance that may be within them. And so you're taking on a very big challenge to decide that you are going to define a provable process that will root out resistance for this and this and this and this and this, because no one got there all at once. They all got there a little bit at a time. And most people aren't going to let go of it all at once. They'll let go of it a little bit at a time. But if we were wanting to guide someone away from something unwanted, we would just begin speaking to them generally about what they want. And sometimes the clearer they get about what they want, the closer to non-physical departure they become. In other words, that's a place of complete non-resistance. So this gathering has helped us to pinpoint and speak to you, to all of you, something big and bold and blunt. It's your fear of death that makes you sick. It's your fear of losing life that causes you to not live. It's your defending against unwanted that keeps you from wanted. Don't you find that just a remarkable thing to understand? And so in the moment that you stop defending against what you don't want, the resistance begins to subside immediately. It's like withdrawing the gasoline from the fire. And when the fuel stops, the fire will too. The momentum will too, you see.
I get that.
And then just make a decision that when you get up in the morning, you're going to look for something to feel good about and see how far you can get into the day, and then do it again the next day, and see how far you can get into the day, and then do it the next day, until you turn the momentum in the direction of your path. And then have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good conversation.